So we stopped at
79.
79, okay. 79. It's okay. Yeah, 180. He said, مسألة وغسل كل ميت من المسلمين فرض ولا بد. The washing of every dead amongst the Muslim is an obligation. فإن دفن بغير غسل أخرج ولا بد. He said, if he is buried without being washed, then he should be taken out of grave. ما دام يمكن أن يوجد منه شيء ويغسل. He said, as long as there is possibility that something can be found, he still like be washed, so he should be taken from the grave and washed, except for the shaheed, except for someone who was killed in the battle. الذي قتله المشركون في المعركة فمات فيها فإنه لا يلزم غسله. He said, except for the shaheed which was killed by the mushrikeen in the battle and he died in it, then it's not necessary to wash him. Okay? And his proof for that is Burhanu Dhalik, what is narrated by Bukhari from Atiyah, that the Prophet went to them when his daughter died. He said, wash her 3 times or 5 or more than that if you see it, if you deem that to be necessary. So he said the Prophet ordered for a dead to be washed 3 or more, and his order is an obligation.
Wash free when I just go over the body.
Sorry?
Like go over the body free of
washing, yeah, washing her, all her body, 3 times or more, or depends. You see, the dead it's need maybe it depends on how many times. When a person is dead, he have no control of his body, so you need to wash her until you are sure she is clean, or even the man. Now we have here regarding a woman, which is hukum will be man or woman is the same, but there is another hadith about the Hajj, the man who fell from was in Hajj and he fell from his camel, and the Prophet said ordered the same thing to be done to him. So ghusl to clean the dead is an obligation. As for the shaheed, then there is the hadith of Jabir. He didn't mention here any hadith about the person who was killed in the battle. Then there is hadith that the Prophet said, كفلوهم في دمائهم, like put them. What is kafan?
Kafan is the cloth, the ritual cloth.
Yeah.
White cloth that they use.
It's not white cloth. It's not necessarily
anyway, the cloth that they
clothes that you put here. The Prophet said, put them in their clothes, like cover them in their blood. So you have to leave them, bury them with the blood.
So if in the case of a normal person, if we just dip them in water, like bath, and we put them in there and pull them out, and there was no other areas to clean because he said they have no control of their body, that's enough for their...
No, this is what he says here. He says, اغسلناها 3 أو 5. Wash her 3 times or 5 or more than that if you see it necessary. You understand? But also in the other narrations it says وبدأنا بميامنها, start with the right sides, and ومواضع الوضوء منها, and the place of wudu. So you have to do wudu for her first, like wash her face, wash her hands, and then continue
the right
on that, the right side. And
you wash with water and what's the other thing?
Sidr, بماء وسدر. Sidr is this
leaf, a type of leaf from a tree.
A tree that has horns and has type of fruit like this. It comes by itself in the dry areas. No, even in
Yeah.
cold areas. Even in cold areas. Well, it has one fruit which is this big sometimes. It is sometimes very small. Some trees they can go this big, and the leaves has a very
Bitter taste.
nice smell, but when you cook it, it's nice smell, but it's not very strong. I mean, it's very
Mild.
yeah. So that is what you have to do, and you have to do kafur as well.
Food. These are all obligations.
Yes, this is orders that you have.
Only if you can't get it. Then.
The last one you have to do kafur. Kafur is if you went probably in some, I don't know where you got it, but in this country where I saw it is if you go to the mosques, in the bathrooms they put some white thing
For the
round.
toilet. Yeah.
Oh,
that kills the cockroaches.
Yeah.
The cockroaches can smell it.
Yeah.
Understand? That is kafur.
That's kafur, yeah.
Yeah.
so you put that
In the water.
Yeah.
Understand?
consider. Yeah.
So and the sidr as well.
And if you can't get hold of them, then it's like.
Well, there isn't, but sidr is everywhere.
Salt.
So that is for the ghusl of the mayyit. The people who have experience. I mean, not everybody can wash a dead body. It should be left. You can wash a person, and then if you don't have experience, I mean, when you finish and you think that he is clean, he is not anymore. Understand? Then you leave him just for a minute. You leave him, for example, you wash him right time in the morning. He will need to be washed again.
So when we do the side of wudu, when we say wudu, just so I understand it, we wash the right side of the body. When we do the wudu, would we just do the wudu for the right hand side of the body
No.
then go to the left?
You do the wudu just like normal. His face and then his hands. You understand? The right and then the left.
Okay.
You do the wudu and you start with the right.
Yeah.
So the right hand and then the left hand and then the
Left hand side, yeah.
yeah, understand. And then he said ومن غسل ميتا متوليا ذلك بنفسه بصب أو عرق فعليه أن يغتسل فرضا. Whoever washes a dead doing it by himself, whether by pouring water or by like rubbing, then he should. Sometime there are people who like there are more than one washing. One is rubbing and the other one is pouring the water. So if someone does it, whether he's doing this or this, they have to do ghusl, to do themselves, ghusl for themselves. And then he narrates hadith from Abu Dawud, which is narrated from Ahmad ibn Salih, from Ibn Abi Fudayk, from Ibn Abi Dhi'b, from Al-Qasim ibn Abbas, from Amr ibn Umayr, from Abi Huraira, that the Prophet said, whoever من غسل الميت, whoever washes the dead, he should do ghusl. ومن حمله فليتوضأ, and whoever carries him, he should do wudu. And also Abu Dawud narrated from Hamid ibn Yahya, from Sufyan ibn Uyayna, from Suhail ibn Abi Salih, from his father, from Ishaq Mawla Zaida, from Abi Huraira, from the Prophet, same thing. And then he mentions another hadith which is from Al-Hajjaj ibn Minhal, from Hamad ibn Salama, from Muhammad ibn Amr ibn Abi Salama, from Abi Huraira, that the Prophet said, whoever washes the dead, he should do ghusl, and whoever carries it, that should do wudu.
Those 2 chains are weak, but the first one was fine.
Abu Muhammad, sorry?
Those 2 chains were weak.
The Abu Muhammad said, من حمل الجنازة, whoever carries the janazah. Now this hadith is not taken by the majority, and they really should have taken it. He said وممن قال بهذا, because according to their to the rules of taking hadith, this hadith is
Fine.
is not only fine. This hadith should be very fine, actually, according to the rules that they follow. He said, from among those who said this, is Ali ibn Abi Talib وغيره. From among those who say that you have to take غسل is Ali ibn Abi Talib وغيره. روينا ذلك من طريق عبد الرحمن. Ali ibn Abi Talib, he says it that Ali have said this, but he sometimes he does this. I mean, when he is not talking about hadith from the Prophet, and what happens is he will mention hadith from the Sahaba. He will just take it like that, even if it's weak, and he will say Ali ibn Abi Talib have said. He does this a lot. But still, I mean, if someone else says it, he will say it's wrong. This hadith is weak. He does this. He said, روينا ذلك من طريق عبد الرحمن بن مهدي. We narrated that from طريق عبد الرحمن بن مهدي, from Hisham الدستوائي, from حماد بن أبي سليمان, from إبراهيم النخعي, from علي. قال من غسل ميتا فليغتسل. Now he.
Nabawi hadith. Nabawi hadith.
No, this is that Ali said. It's not the Prophet said.
I mean, what's that is a weak hadith?
What?
Does his name?
Hisham الدستوائي.
Yeah.
Hisham الدستوائي is ثقة, except that he is مدلس.
Oh, he was a madalis, that's why I'm weak.
Okay. But Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman, there is different opinion about him.
Yeah.
He is a teacher of Abu Hanifa. They say he is Hasan al-Hadith. But still, it's not this is the reason. Ibrahim al-Nakhai from Ali ibn Abi Talib clearly broken chain. Ibrahim al-Nakhai never. You understand? It's not something that needs like looking or researching. It's broken. Hamad ibn Ibrahim al-Nakhai is small tabi'i. Okay. ومن طريق وكيع عن سعيد بن عبد العزيز التنوخي عن مكحول, and he said from وكيع, from Sa'id bin Abdul Aziz, from Makhul, that Hudayfa was asked by a man whose father died. Hudayfa said, wash him, and then when you finish, then do ghusl. Okay? Makhul and Hudayfa broken. And from Abi Huraira, من غسل ميتا فليغتسل. Whoever washes dead, he should do ghusl. From Abi Huraira, yes. From Hamad ibn Salama, from Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman, from Ibrahim al-Nakhai, that the companions of Ali used to do ghusl when they wash the dead. Yeah, Ibrahim al-Nakhai met the companions of Ali, but the companions of Ali that Ibrahim al-Nakhai narrates from also are Jabir al-Ja'fi, a liar, al-Harith al-A'war, accused to be a liar, and that is just better than being confirmed a liar. Ali said, Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i and Dawud said, لا يجب الغسل من غسل الميت. They said there is no, it's not an obligation to take a bath, to take ghusl, to do ghusl from washing the dead. He said واحتج أصحابنا في ذلك بالأثر الذي فيه إنما الماء من الماء. He said our ashab, meaning the people of Dahir, the Dahiris, he referred to them as ashab. He said, they said إنما الماء من الماء, that water comes from water, is from water. This is the hadith that people, the Sahaba used to use to say it's not an obligation for a man to have ghusl from as long as there is no janaba. You understand? So this hadith is general. You take it, and anyone who says you have to do ghusl anywhere, you say this hadith as general, unless there is a proof to show. You understand? So this hadith should be taken like this. إنما الماء من الماء. I don't have to do ghusl, because the Prophet, when he was asked about doing ghusl, said إنما الماء من الماء. This is general.
Okay.
Except where there is proof. You understand?
That hadith isn't abrogated by the other one referring
that is part abrogated. You understand what is part abrogated? Part abrogation is تخصيص.
Okay.
لا تنكحوا المشركات. Don't marry the مشركات.
Okay, that way.
Don't marry
الكتاب بكتاب.
Except أهل الكتاب, because of another ayah. So you don't have to do ghusl with this hadith for anything except for janaba, and janaba is mentioned here. This hadith say إنما الماء من الماء, so that is regarding janaba. So you don't have to do ghusl other than janaba, except for menses, except for man having intercourse with woman, you understand? Except for Jum'ah. He said, Ali said, وهذا لا حجة فيه. He said, there is no proof in this. لأن الأمر بالغسل من غسل الميت ومن الإيلاج وإن لم يكن إنزال هما شرعان زائدان على خبر الماء من الماء. He said, because the order to do ghusl from the dead, from washing the dead, and from having intercourse, these are two things that extra in the Sharia. والزيادة واردة من عند الله تعالى على لسان رسوله فرض الأخذ بها. He said, and this extra Sharia came from Allah on the tongue of the Prophet, so it's an obligation to take it. So this is two places here, and add for that, for example, the ghusl of hayd for the woman, the ghusl of Jum'ah. These things are extra. He said, واحتج غيرهم. He said, this is the Zahiris. The Zahiris took this hadith as proof. So for them, they used this hadith, and then they said the hadith that ghusl al-mayyit is not an obligation. I don't know if we don't have many books of the Zahiris. They have been lost, but they will either, many of them, they will say that this hadith are da'if, rather than say it is only mustahab. Because if they say it's mustahab because of the hadith, they will say every other ghusl is mustahab. You understand? This is how normally the Zahiris think. Either they say this hadith is general, any other hadith that says you have to do ghusl is mustahab because with this hadith, you understand?
The specific.
Yeah. Or they will say that the hadith if they take the other hadith like Jum'ah to be wajib, and then they will say this hadith here, in this case, they don't take it because it's weak. واحتج غيرهم في ذلك بأثر رويناه من طريق ابن وهب. He said the other madhahib didn't use this hadith that way. They say the proof for saying it's not an obligation. He say they mention hadith from Ibn Wahab. He said, I have been told by someone that I trust that the Prophet said, لا تتنجسوا من موتاكم. Don't feel dirty from your dead. He said, وكره ذلك لهم, and he hated that for them, like the Prophet didn't like that. He said, وعن رجال من أهل العلم, and from other men from knowledge, people of knowledge, from Sa'id and Jabir and Ibn Mas'ud and Ibn Abbas and Ibn Umar, that there is no ghusl from washing the dead. And another hadith from Malik, from Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr ibn Muhammad ibn Amr ibn Hazm, that Asma, the daughter of Umays, Asma bint Umays, she washed Abu Bakr Siddiq. When she finished, she asked the Muhajirin, and she said, I am fasting this day, and it is a day which is very cold. Should I do ghusl? They said no. And from Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, he said that Ibn Mas'ud and his companion didn't use to do ghusl from the dead. And another hadith from Shu'bah, from Yazid al-Rashk, from Mu'adh al-Adawiyah, that she asked Aisha, should we do ghusl from washing the dead? She said no. Abu Muhammad said, all this, there is no proof in it. The hadith from the Prophet is very weak. That is because Ibn Wahab never mentioned who told him, the name of the person who told him. And the distance between Ibn Wahab and the Prophet is very far. ثم and said, but if it was, this hadith was narrated with isnad chain which is sahih, there is no proof in it, in anything. They said because only it says don't feel dirty from your dead.
You say do also.
Yeah, he said, and this is what we say. He said, we seek refuge from Allah from feeling dead from a believer who is from a Muslim believer, a dead believer, or that the believer is dirty. He is clean when he is alive and when he is dead. And the ghusl is not from because the dead is dirty. He said ghusl from the dead is just obligation.
Ritual.
He said, just like the Prophet was washed, he said, and he is clean. He is the most clean person, alive and dead. He said, and the way we do ghusl to the Sahaba, and they are clean. And the ghusl of Jum'ah, and there is no najasa on the day of Jum'ah. He said, so this hadith, they can't be used. He said, as for the hadith of Asma, فإن عبد الله بن أبي بكر, the narrator from Abdullah bin Abi Bakr who narrated this hadith, he said he was not even born the day Abu Bakr was dead. Not him, neither his father. So he said, so if it was sahih, he said if it was sahih, it will be contradicting what we narrated from Ali and Hudayfa and Abi Hurairah. And then when there is different opinion, we have to go back to what Allah has said and to what Allah, the Prophet have said. And he said the sunnah, and we have mentioned the sunnah with the isnad which is sahih according to him, that the ghusl is wajib from washing the dead. He said, and how many, there is so many places where they contradicted the jamhur of the Sahaba, the majority of Sahaba, who have no one, like who we don't know anyone who contradicted them. Like sometimes there are things where the Sahaba, many Sahaba will say something, and no one have said something opposite. The Sahabi, that there is no opposite, they say it a lot this. Sahabi, لا يعرف له مخالف, or Sahaba, we don't know someone who opposed said otherwise. This is used it a lot, but here he says even here the case is a different case. He said they contradict sometimes the Sahaba who nobody from the Sahaba opposed them. Here we have Sahaba contradicting other Sahaba. He said so there is no like why do we take one Sahaba and leave the other? He said وقد أفردنا لذلك, we have written a book, a very big book about that. So he had a book where he showed the contradiction between the four madhahib.
But it's lost now.
Yeah, it's lost. Well, it is, but you can find it in, just if you look at the book, his book, Muhalla, you take one by one, you will find, he will mention every time that look here, there is Sahaba, and they contradicted them even though no Sahabi has said something.
So
it's like the ijma'. Yeah. You see, so when they say many Sahaba have said something, nobody contradicted them. Now this is ijma'. He said والعجب من احتجاجهم بقول عائشة وهم قد خالفوها في إيجاب الوضوء من ممسة النار. He said that it's weird, it's a wonder that they are using Aisha here, and they contradicted her when she said that you have to do wudu from what the fire have touched. And they contradicted Ali ibn Abi Talib and Ibn Abbas and Ibn Zubayr when he said that the mustahada, the woman who has blood out of her period, that she has to do ghusl for every salah, or to do jama' bayn as-salatayn, because this is the fatwa of Ibn Abbas and Ali ibn Abi Talib and Ibn Zubayr, that a woman who has the blood which is not the vein, she must do ghusl if for every prayer, or delay dhuhr and do ghusl and do it with asr and maghrib with isha, and so either 3 times a day or 5 times a day to do ghusl. And Aisha في قولها تغتسل كل يوم عند صلاة الظهر, and say they also contradicted Aisha, because Aisha said she must do ghusl at dhuhr time and keep praying with that ghusl until following day, dhuhr. So he said, and those in their sayings, there is no Sahabi who contradicted them in what we don't know a Sahabi who contradicted this Sahaba in their saying. Actually, for Masjid al-Nar, there is some Sahaba who contradicted. There are more than Aisha who said this. Probably he's referring only to Ali and Ibn Abbas and Zubair, because first Aisha about wudu from what fire has touched. There is a different opinion between the Sahaba. Okay. So 182. ومن صب على مغتسل ونوى ذلك المغتسل الغسل أجزأه برهان ذلك أن الغسل هو إمساس الماء بشر. Said whoever pour water on a person,
Any person,
someone is pouring water on him, and that person had the intention to do ghusl, to wash himself, said that's enough, that he has done ghusl. He said to prove the ghusl is what is to put water on the skin with the intention to do what Allah has ordered. He said if the person have had that intention, then he has done ghusl, because the water has touched his body. And there is no proof from Quran or Sunnah or Ijma' to say that he has to do it by himself. I mean, that is something clear, it's normal. There is not really very big debate about this. Some people, except for the Malikis, for example, because they say you have to do dalk and you have to rub it. Understand? مسألة 183. He said وانقطاع دم الحيض في مدة الحيض ومن جملته دم النفاس يوجب الغسل لجميع الجسد والرأس. وانقطاع دم الحيض في مدة الحيض ومن جملته دم النفاس يوجب الغسل لجميع الجسد والرأس. He said وهذا إجماع متيقن, and this is إجماع with yaqeen, affirmed ijma', confirmed ijma', that woman, when she the blood stops, she should wash her body and her head and everything, like do ghusl, full ghusl. He said this is ijma', clear ijma'. Whoever go against it, he becomes kafir. وبالله تعالى انتهيت. This is وقد ذكرنا, he said وقد ذكرنا, and we have mentioned that a woman in her, when she is pregnant, doesn't have a period. She has no blood. And the blood coming out after the nifas, the blood of nifas coming after the birth, that is, he said the blood of nifas, that the one that comes after the woman have delivered the baby, because he mentioned here, he said the stopping of the blood of haid in the time where haid is possible, and ومن جملته, and from the haid as well, the blood of nifas, the woman, the blood that comes after the birth. Understand? He said this you have to do ghusl afterwards. So here he's explaining, he said the blood of nifas, what is it? It is the one that comes after.
Didn't he explain it before? Covered it before.
No. There he was just saying that, explaining when we were talking about the mustahada, he was explaining that what is the difference, that hayd and nifas, because people have different opinions. Some people say the hayd, he was talking about blood, a woman pregnant having a blood, seeing a blood. You understand? He said that blood is not hayd and is not nifas. It's not hayd, it's not menses, because having blood, having menses, that is the proof that woman is not pregnant. You understand? If someone, for example, buys a slave she doesn't have to wait 4 months and 10 days because it's like, or she is not divorced to wait the period of iddah. He bought her. So how is he going to, can he just, let's say before she was sold, she had a relation with her master. Now how long you are going to wait for her to check if she is pregnant or not?
Wait for menses.
You wait for menses. When she has had her menses, that is proof that she is not pregnant. So if the blood is proof that she is not pregnant, that means a pregnant woman can't have blood. Some people say pregnant woman can have blood. You understand?
Okay.
So here he is explaining why that's what he was explaining there. You understand?
Yeah.
He said, as for the blood which comes before the delivery of the baby, that is definitely not blood of nifas. ولا نص فيه ولا إجماع. There is no statement regarding it or ijma'. That blood should be considered to be the vein, mustahada, because it's either menses or a vein. Blood, all blood comes from veins, but hayd is special, and the Prophet said that is blood of vein, so it has no hukum except normal, disregard it. So, but for him there are 3 types of blood. According to Ibn Hazm, there is the istihada, and the hayd, and the nifas, and the blood which is neither this neither this. And his proof for that is because the Prophet, when he spoke to the woman mentioned that she have seen this blood after the hayd. So he says, if this blood starts just like this in the middle of pregnancy, for example, then this is a different blood. That is not what happened to her. And she said, but the Prophet, when he answered her, he didn't mention anything about if the blood starts during the menses or not in the menses. You understand this point? Okay. And the fact that he says here, you have to do ghusl after the hayd or after the nifas, it is an obligation. He doesn't have to refer to the ijma' because we don't know if everybody agree about it. But it's clear from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَإِذَا تَطَهَّرْنَ فَأْتُوهُنَّ مِنْ حَيْثُ أَمَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَا تَقْرَبُوهُنَّ حَتَّى يَطْهَرْنَ. Like a woman, when she is in her menses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't, when they are clean, when they cleanse themselves, when they are clean, وَلَا تَقْرَبُهُنَّ, they ask you regarding the mahid. Mahid is either the period of the menses or the place of the menses. So they ask you regarding the mahid. قُلْ هُوَ أَذَى, say that it is a harm. فَاعْتَزِلُوا النِّسَاءَ فِي الْمَحِيضِ. So keep away from women. From women during the mahid. Is it keep away from the woman, mean don't have relation with them during the time of period, or keep away from women in the place where there is hayd? You understand? حتى يطهرن, until they become clean. So during the period of hayd, they are not really clean. They are clean because they are never najis, they are Muslim, but they are there is clean and clean.
Ritual impurity.
Yeah, I mean ritual.
No, you can't. You can use it. You can't use it, can you? No, because
a woman, she is always clean. Like tahara, she is tahir. But you can't say, when I say
spiritually,
I am clean. You are clean all the time. All Muslims are clean. But you can't say if I am seeing najasa on my hand, I say my hand is dirty. You understand? It's not me being dirty, my hand being dirty now because there is najasa on it actually.
You see it.
You understand? So the woman is all pure, but the blood. Huh?
An area.
No, janaba, because janaba will not make a person dirty because nothing there to be seen as dirt. You see, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَإِذَا تَطَهَّرْنَا. Can you just give me a Quran? فَإِذَا تَطَهَّرْنَا.
What surah is this?
Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah, it says, let's see the translation. He says, فَإِذَا تَطَهَّرْنَا فَأْتُوهُنَّ مِنْ حَيْثُ أَمَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ. And they ask you about menstruation. Say it is harm, so keep away from wives during menstruation, and do not approach them until they are pure. And when they are purified themselves, look, don't approach them until they are pure. When they have purified themselves, no, there is difference between حتى يطهرن until they become pure. طاهرات. فإذا تطهرنا. It's not فإذا طهرنا. فإذا تطهرنا until they clean themselves. When they clean themselves, it's not when they become pure.
When they clean.
Yeah, when they after cleaning. فأتوهن من حيث أمركم الله. So there is difference between يطهر يتطهر. She become tahir, meaning she has nothing to do with that. She become tahir whether she like or not.
It's happened.
The blood stops. She become tahir. She is tahir now. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't approach them until they become tahir. فَإِذَا تَطَهَّرْنَا. Then if when they become tahir, then if and when they clean themselves, the ghusl, so there is difference between tahir and mutatahir. You understand? And that's why when the hadith say, when the Prophet went with Mughira ibn Shu'bah and he wanted to take his socks, his khuf from his feet so he can do wudu, he said leave it because فَإِنِّي أَدْخَلْتُهُمَا طَاهِرَتَيْن. I put my feet in this khuf طاهرتين. He didn't say متطهرتين or something.
So that must mean in a state of wudu when he put it on. Could you say that means that he was in a state of wudu when he put it on?
Oh, he was tahir.
Because he's tahir anyway.
He was tahir anyway.
And if you put it on, but then he said something extra now, it would be unnecessary if he said, when I was pure. You are pure.
Yeah.
So when he put on the socks, he must have put it on
That's mean. You see, when you put your feet with the najasa inside, you can't say that are the tahiratayn, can you?
Oh, you sense that there's some assumptions here then.
Well, if you there is najasa on your feet, and you put it in the sock, in the shoes.
So you're coming from that angle. You're saying that you can't necessarily say for definite that it was with wudu.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the tahara comes from from the Quran and from the hadith. From the hadith as well of what we mentioned before. When the woman came to the Prophet, hadith of Aisha, when he told her, فَإِذَا when the blood stops, then اغتسلي, then do ghusl and pray.
Didn't he know this?
No, he knows definitely. I don't know why he didn't mention them. Well, definitely this hadith, who doesn't know this? I mean, probably this he is just trying to answer to the others because the others will know this. You understand? So everybody will use this ayah and the hadith. It's not like no. Everybody will use this ayah before he says it's ijma'.
When he uses the ijma' here, he made a confirmation that it's qat'i, that it's a step, because he will contradict the ijma' sometimes as well, won't he?
No, he will say it's a lie. This ijma' is a lie. How
exactly? That's what I mean. He'll say that. So when he's established it, then he can't work around it because that's why he's using such a strong statement that this is established. Because it affirms what he's saying. If it was doubtful or he could try to get out of it and it contradicts his point of view, he's going to say.
Yeah, but sometimes there is something that we don't know anyone who said a different opinion, and he will still say, and he will not bring any opinion, anyone saying a different opinion. Just they will say, how do they know? Like it's a lie and stuff.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah, this question of ijma', this question 184 مسألة والنفساء والحائض شيء واحد. He said the nufasa, nifas and haid, he said they are the same thing. فأيتهما أرادت الحج أو العمرة ففرض عليها أن تغتسل ثم تهل. He said whoever the nufasa or the ha'id, when they are same thing, if they want any of them, the women who are in her period or the woman who had blood after the delivery of the child, both of them, it's an obligation on them to do ghusl if they want hajj.
If they want to go hajj?
If they want to do hajj.
Okay. But does that mean we can't even form a khalif if they don't want to go on hajj then?
No.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't understand what he says. He says a woman who has delivered the baby and she is about to start hajj. When she delivered the baby is the beginning of the blood. It's not the end of it.
Oh, okay.
When a woman is in her menses, she is not when she finishes, when she is and she want to do hajj, he say she should do ghusl that day. You understand?
Or if she doesn't want to, she still ghusl.
He says she has to.
If she doesn't want to go hajj as well.
No.
If she wants to go hajj, then she has to do.
A woman doesn't have to do ghusl at all. He says the woman, if you are in a woman is going to hajj and she is in her period, he says she must, before she do ihlal, like Allahumma baik, like umrah or hajj, he say that she must do ghusl for that. Of course, unless he can prove it, it's anybody can say that a woman, if she want to eat, she has to do ghusl. You understand? So where he got it from? This is what he says. Hadith which is narrated by Muslim from Abdurrahman bin Qasim, from his father, from Aisha. He said that Nafisat Asma bint Umays. You understand? Aisha here said that Asma bint Umays, she delivered Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr Siddiq next to the tree. When they were going to Hajj, it is the time where Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr was born. You understand? She said the Prophet ordered Abu Bakr to order her to do ghusl and to do ihlal, hajj, like to start the hajj. You understand here?
Yeah.
So that is his proof that al-nufasa, because the blood, it's very unlikely that the blood would have stopped while they are in the way. You understand?
Yeah.
Like before they reach Mecca, it wasn't that long, enough days for her to be the blood to stop. So he is saying here, still the Prophet ordered Abu Bakr to order her to do ghusl. That's me. Now this is hadith that.
Fine.
Huh?
Hadith.
Isnad, you mean?
Yeah.
Isnad is Abdurrahman bin Qasim bin Muhammad bin Abi Bakr from his father. He is the Abdurrahman bin Qasim bin Muhammad. Abdurrahman bin Qasim is trustworthy and Musli. His father is trustworthy and Musli. He is the nephew of Aisha. You understand? And he is talking about story that happened to his father, because Muhammad is Al-Qasim bin Muhammad. He is his father who was born under the tree.
Yeah.
Except that Aisha in no narration said
She was there.
how the Prophet ordered Abu Bakr. What did he tell him to say? What did he understand? The Prophet ordered Abu Bakr that did he order him like tell her if she want,
What did he say?
or what did he exactly say?
So we reject
I'm
it.
saying, like, did he say, do you gesture? What did he say? Pour water? We don't know.
So we reject it now.
This hadith.
No, you have to put it on the
Anyway,
standby.
the majority. No, it's not standby. The majority say she doesn't have to do ghusl. They say istihbab. It's mustahab for her to do ghusl, even if she is still in her blood. You know, because a woman can't do hajj with menses. She can't do salah. She has to wait until she does wudu or ghusl. But to do ghusl here for what? For the hajj, you have to establish it with hadith sahih.
Do you understand that? Well, that if someone said that the Prophet forbid us, he has to clearly say the words of the Prophet. He can't say ambiguous.
Okay, he will probably mention another hadith. I will mention it later. Not only this. This is about the woman who has delivered the baby. normally that blood, the hadith here is talking, he's not mentioning any blood or anything. He's mentioning, because he said the woman who has in her nifas and in her hayd. But here, the Prophet ordered Asma to do ghusl. For what reason? Because she delivered the baby. That is a guess.
That's what I'm saying. Did he say why?
This is a guess only.
The Prophet said, because you had a baby, I forbid you from doing it because you had a baby.
Maybe that ghusl will be for everybody. Told Abu Bakr to do ghusl himself and do ghusl for...
Because he had a baby as well.
No, it's not because he had a baby. Because for everybody who was in Hajj should have done ghusl. You understand? If he ordered Asma, just because she was pregnant, doesn't mean that he ordered her.
For that reason.
He ordered everybody, that will be order for everybody.
No, but I'm saying, if they said that, you'd say, well, then Abu Bakr had a son, so maybe he should have reached for...
Okay. جاء في الخبر الصحيح, he said, and it comes in the hadith which is sahih, that Asma had delivered the baby next to the shajar, to the tree. Delivered Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr. فذكر ذلك لرسول الله, that was mentioned to the Prophet. And Aisha and Salama, both of them had menses, and the Prophet said to each one of them, Anufisti. Like the Prophet, when he spoke to Aisha, he said, Anufisti. You understand? He told Salama, Anufisti, did you had nifas? That one, they had hayd. So what he is saying here is nifas and hayd are the same. So the fact that the narrator said Asma bint Umays had the nifas and the Prophet ordered her to do ghusl, that means that it goes for the nifas or for the hayd. You understand? Except that the Prophet didn't say to Asma, do ghusl because you had nifas or anything. He just, Abu Bakr mentioned him the story and he told him to order her to do ghusl.
This was all on Hajj, when they were going Hajj.
Yeah, this is when they were going to Hajj. So, صح أن الحيض يسمى نفاسا. He said then it's clear that the hayd is called nifas. And it's clear that they have the same name, so they have the same hukum. And the Prophet ordered the woman who sees the black blood to leave the salah.
Okay.
That is...
How did he order? How did he order?
To leave the salah.
To leave the salah. The woman who sees the black blood.
Okay.
But she's praying, she's not going to see the black while she's praying.
No.
Afterwards.
I mean, if a woman has black blood, she must stop praying. That's what he means. She must stop praying.
He said the Prophet forbid. He didn't say how the Prophet forbid.
What he is saying, Ibn Hazm is saying now, it's not, he's saying because he's referring to another hadith. He's referring to hadith of Muhammad ibn Amr ibn Alqama ibn Waqas from Abi Salama from Abi Hurairah, that he said, that the Prophet said, إن الدم الحيض أسود يعرف, that the blood of hayd is black, known. So when you see it, leave the prayer. When you see the blood with that color, that hadith is Muhammad ibn Amr. Muhammad ibn Amr is weak. Different opinions about him. Ibn Ma'in say Muhammad ibn Amr, people keep away from him.
Stay away from him.
Chooses his hadith, like, because sometimes he will narrate hadith from Abu Salama ibn Abd al-Rahman, and later he will say from Abu Salama from Abi Hurairah from the Prophet. You understand? So people are careful from taking his hadith. Bukhari and Muslim don't narrate from him except like what we call mutaba'at or something.
Supporting change.
You understand? So, and nobody takes all the hadith of Muhammad ibn Amr. People, no one from the madhahib. The madhahib sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't.
So what case would they take him in? Like for definite, what case would you take him in? No, you probably want to take him.
No, I don't take him. But you say the hadith that I mentioned earlier, and you said it's da'if. I thought you said da'if because Muhammad bin Amr. When I mentioned Hamad bin Salama from Muhammad bin Amr.
Yeah, Hamad bin Salama, I said it.
Yeah, but Hamad bin Salama from Muhammad bin Amr. Muhammad bin Amr is also...
I never heard of Muhammad.
Okay, Muhammad bin Amr Muhammad bin Amr bin Alqama bin Waqas.
Okay.
So he said here the hukm of hayd, that the Prophet has ordered the woman who sees the black blood to leave the salah, and وحكم بأنه حيض, and he made the hukm, decision, that it is hayd, and she is haid. I am not going to repeat this word in English. You know now what hayd means. وأن الدم الآخر ليس حيضا ولا هي بحائض. He said the other blood, he said that she is not haid, and that is not hayd. وأخبر أن الحيض شيء كتبه الله تعالى على بنات آدم, and he mentioned that the hayd, Allah has made it, written it, like it's something that will happen to the daughters of Adam, to mean all women. He said that means every black blood which comes from woman private part, from the place where she delivered the baby, is called hayd. He's just trying to prove the same thing that he said before. I mean, just trying to
reiterate.
إلا ما ورد النص بإخراجه من هذه الجملة. He said except what the hadith shows that it is not from the hayd. So I mean every blood that comes is hayd unless proven not to be. Is like the woman, he said, for example, the woman who is pregnant, because she can't have hayd, that means the blood will be something else. Or the woman that we don't know
Special cases.
her time. Her time is like her blood is never known. When? This is two places. The second place is his madhab as well, that this woman has to do ghusl all the time. That is different. His madhab. Okay? And he says, so that he said about the woman, if she wants to do a hajj and umrah and she is nufasa, he mentioned that hadith. And here now he said, and the woman when she wants to do umrah and she has hayd, is an obligation on her. This is 185.
185.
Yeah. He said this woman is an obligation on her to do ghusl as well.
Okay.
And then she should do in her hajj what we will mention in the book of hajj. But in this, he say it's an obligation on her, a woman who want to do umrah. You see at the beginning, a woman who is in her hayd and want to do hajj or umrah. Here, he doesn't say about a woman who is, he say a woman who want to do umrah, and then afterwards she becomes hayd.
Yeah.
She should do ghusl. His proof is what Muslim narrated from Qutayba ibn Sa'id, from Layth ibn Sa'd, from Abi Zubayr, from Jabir, that he said we came with the Prophet wanting to do hajj, just hajj, and Aisha wanted to do umrah. And then when she was in a place called Sarif, Arakat, she became hayd. And then he mentioned the hadith. It's a long hadith. And he said that the Prophet entered to see her. He went to see her in her place and found her crying. She said, I am in my menses, and the people have done ihlal, like they took off their ihram. وَلَمْ أَحْلُلْ. She can't take do the hell, like so she must stay in her ihram because she can't. وَلَمْ أَطُفْ بِالْبَيْتِ. She can't do finish her umrah before she finishes the tawaf. So she must wait until. So وَالنَّاسُ يَذْهَبُونَ إِلَى الْحَجِّ, and people are going to hajj. The Prophet told her, إِنَّ هَذَا كَتَبَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَى بَنِي آدَمَ. This, Allah has written this thing on the daughter of Adam. فاغتسلي ثم أهلي بالحج ففعلت. He said, then do ghusl and do hajj. She said, and I did so. This hadith is narrated by Muslim from Abu Zubayr from Jabir. Any comments?
Change your intention.
When he says so when you want the last part, was the last part about Hajj when he said that if you want to go?
He said, this something that Allah has written it on the daughters of Adam.
Yeah.
Do ghusl and then start your Hajj.
You start your Hajj. No. Okay, because he said if when I don't know if when you said earlier when they do if they do the Umrah or something and afterwards. No.
This hadith.
Can you change your intention?
This hadith is sahih. You can't change. The Sahaba, when they went to Hajj, they changed their intention many times because the Hajj was not known yet. They did the intention too many times they changed it. This is what happens here. This hadith is from Abu Zubayr from Jabir, but because it's the narration of Layth ibn Sa'd, there is nothing wrong with it. Layth ibn Sa'd, any hadith he narrates from Abu Zubayr, it's mean he heard it from Jabir. The hadith here is not sahih to the Prophet. It's not sahih to Jabir. Jabir definitely said it. Did the Prophet say it? We don't know. That's because Jabir said the Prophet went inside to talk to Aisha. She was in her tent. Jabir was not there. We don't know if he heard this story or not. But we have hadith which is in Bukhari and Muslim from Abdurrahman ibn al-Qasim, from his father, from Aisha, that the Prophet told her that this is something that Allah has written on the daughters of Adam. And so what he ordered her, he said, do whatever the Hajj is supposed to do, but don't do tawaf until you do ghusl.
Okay.
So that it's clearly, if he is telling her, do ghusl, and he tell her, don't do tawaf until you do ghusl, that's mean he is telling her, do tawaf after you have finished ghusl. Which he actually, which in the other hadith he has forbidden her from doing. Meaning, don't do tawaf until you become clean and you do ghusl. You understand? So this is Jabir narrating it. He heard it from somewhere. He didn't hear it properly. That's all.
So you call it mursal in that case?
Mursal of Sahabi.
Yeah.
But this hadith is contradicted by Aisha, the hadith of Aisha, saying what the Prophet told her.
You don't know who Jabir got it from?
You understand? So this is Mursal of Sahabi. What do you say about? You know about Mursal Sahabi? Did I speak about Mursal Sahabi before?
Yeah, in accent.
I spoke about Mursal Sahabi several times.
Well, I mean, if Khalid, I'm thinking about Khalid.
Okay, why? There is two other few chapters. He says that I will talk about later.
Okay.
Do you want to finish or to continue?
Up to you. Up to you.
He's tired. He wants to sleep. Clearly.
I'm tired.
Work, that's it.
I'm tired as well. I didn't sleep all
This guy's
night.
going to go back to sleep when he gets home after do some work.
Yeah. You understand? The Mursal of the Sahabi, the majority say Mursal of Sahabi, you have to take it. They say if Sahabi say a story, says something, narrates from the Prophet, something that we know for sure he was not there. Like Ibn Abbas mentioning something that happened on Badr. They will say we will take it.
The majority.
The majority will say we'll take it. They say because Sahabi will not take except from Sahabi. This rule, when you make a rule, it either refer to Quran and Sunnah, or you refer to something like, oh, this is, I have seen, this never happens, or you understand? It's what we call istiqra'. You look at the hadith, and you see all the hadith, and you come with a rule. Once someone proves you wrong, the rule is broken. We know that the many Sahaba have narrated from Tabi'in. It's clear, something that nobody can deny. And the other thing is, except for Ibn Hazm and Ibn Hibban, say we don't take Mursal of Sahabi. Ibn Hibban say whatever reason we give that we shouldn't take from Tabi'i, from the Prophet, that because there is someone in the middle that we maybe not known, he said the same reason should be used to reject the hadith of the Sahabi. But it's a rule that they make, they never Like Ibn Hibban narrates so many hadith that are mursal from Sahaba. Same thing Ibn Hazm does. He uses hadith that are clearly mursal. When someone from Medina mentions something that happened in Mecca, like someone of the Ansar were in Medina, and he narrates hadith that happened when the Prophet was living in Mecca. So this is definitely mursal, but Ibn Hazm used them all the time. So this is the two people that have spoken about this rule, but they never really respected it. Now, the rule, why we say that mursal of Sahabi shouldn't be taken, because this rule, if you take it, just you come and tell me, I tell you the Sahabi was not there. I'm not sure that he heard this story or not. We don't know where he comes from. If you say, the Sahaba at the time of the Prophet, they were all trustworthy, the people in Medina all trustworthy, and no, that's not true. The Sahaba are trustworthy. The people in Medina are not all Sahaba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ مَرَضُوا عَلَى النِّفَاقِ وَمِنْ حَوْلَكُمْ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ مُنَافِقُونَ. Those around you from the Arab are hypocrites. وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ, and among the people of the Medina, مَرَضُوا عَلَى النِّفَاقِ, they are very strong in their hypocrisy. You understand? لَا تَعْلَمُهُمْ. Even the Prophet, Allah told him, لَا تَعْلَمُهُمْ, they don't know them. They had Aisha, people said Aisha, amongst them 3 Sahaba, said that Aisha had committed adultery. This can be called mursal of Sahabi, because these 3 people were not there. But they said it and confirmed it. You understand? These people heard hypocrites saying and they repeated it. So that is mursal Sahabi. You don't take it. It's rejected. Umar bin Khattab in hadith which is in Bukhari and Muslim, he said, my brother, he had brother like Muhajirin and Ansar.
Yeah.
He said he came one day and knocked on my door very hard. So I went out and said, what happened? He said, the Prophet divorced his wives. He said, I took put my clothes on, went to the Prophet, answered, asked him, did you divorce your wives? He said, no. Because people say it in the Medina. But this is mursal Sahabi.
It's a rumor.
Yeah, it's a rumor. The man said, the Prophet divorced. You see, he didn't say like it has been said or something. The Prophet divorced his wives. Umar said, did you divorce your wives? He said, no. So you don't take mursal, because this man took it from Allah alam where. There is hadith in Bukhari as well, where the Prophet came to Habiba, and she said, why don't you marry my sister? He said, do you like that? She said, yes, I am not the only one who is married to you, so if someone must share you with me, should my sister. He said, but she is haram for me. He said, we have been told that you are going to marry the daughter of Salama, Zainab. He said, who told you that? If she was not my daughter, my stepdaughter living with me, I wouldn't have married her anyway, because she is my niece. Her father has had breastfeeding with me. This is another. She said, we have been told. Who told her? Allah. Someone who guesses and make decisions. So we don't take the mursal of Sahabi.
Umar, it's funny as you say that Umar, he got told that the Prophet divorced his wife. You know, like when people go, the Prophet ordered the people to do something. What did Umar do? He didn't accept it. He went and confirmed it. Does the Prophet say that? Do you understand? Did he say that? Do you understand? The same way you could use it.
No, that is, yeah. He said no. He said, did you divorce your wife? Yeah, that's what he. So, yeah. So this is why I don't take mursal of Sahabi. If I can confirm that Sahabi said something and he was not there, like this story here, when he says he entered to Aisha. Aisha was in a tent. He's not Jabir, he's going to enter with this Prophet.
So these two hadiths signed Babush of Hajj in
Bukhari.
Yeah, explain more to me, Ismail, in the Caribs.
Yeah, I think I just explained.